Right now at 6, a GoFundMe started for a family whose life was dramatically altered by a recent house fire.
And we've got some patchy fog out there. We've got some cool temperatures, but sunny and warm later today. How warm will it be? The answer coming up.
Plus, a Pittsburgh veteran reaches a milestone birthday.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, February the 9th. Happy Monday, post big game day. Because, you know, the NFL is very particular on the use of the official term for the big game.
Yes, so we always just say the big game.
The big game, because we didn't carry it. CBS has carried it in the past, so that's been perfectly fine because, you know, we're a CBS station. But this year it was on NBC, so it's the big game.
The big game where maybe a ball was thrown around, maybe there was a couple of teams competing. Are you okay?
You did not just say that. Nope. Hey, let's take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. I can't be the only one. You guys bet. Okay, good. Look at that. It looks nice outside. It's clear skies. It's too early in the morning on a Monday, man. I mean, I watched the first quarter of the game, and on that note, the defenses on both sides were really good, actually, at least in that first quarter. Yeah, we'll make it. We're going to make it. All right, let's move on here. Westco camera, 7th and range line. Looks pretty good as well. It is so early on a Monday. Oh, man. Yeah, I always was up late at night. My first rodeo through news, I always worked the night shift. So I get home, 11 o'clock at night. I'd stay up till 2 in the morning. Now here I am waking up at 2 in the morning. No matter how many times you do it, it feels like you never get used to it. KDOT camera 69 north of Baxter looks good. A final stop here at the reloading MoDOT camera, 20th in range line in Joplin. You can see it is a bit hazy looking. And that's because, believe it or not, Joplin's reporting slightly lower visibility. Now remember, that visibility report comes from the airport, which is on the far north side of the city, which is why in some cases we'll have really low visibility in Joplin, for example, but when we show you cameras everywhere through the city, it looks fine. That's because the airport is just so far detached from the city. It's so weird. It's the reporting station. That's how it is in most places. But we do have reduced visibility. Now take a look. Either there's something up with the visibility tracker here, or there's just a weird clearing that has taken place. We were down to 1.5 miles visibility in Independence 10 minutes ago. So that's what we talk about too with the rapidly changing visibilities. Do keep that in mind. All right, temperatures this morning above normal for just about all of us now, with the exception of Stockton, into the upper 20s. That's where we should be for this time of year. It's cold, but it's where we should be. And then a little further south, look at Monette, the warm spot at 41. Most of us, though, low, mid, and upper 30s as we get the day started. So the majority of us above average. That's where we're headed today. Southwest winds at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Skies expected to be clear. We are dry. We are very warm. How warm? Well, the bus stop forecast is our first clue here. We're going to be about 40 as kids head out the door, near 70 by lunch and recess, mid-70s as they head home. Bear in mind those average highs are in the upper 40s. Well, that's where we'll be by 9 o'clock this morning. Then we're near 70 by noon, mid-70s for those highs. Southwest winds 5 to 15. Look at 6 o'clock this evening, still near 70. A very warm day. Now, the warm weather is going to stick around for a while, but it may go up and down here and there. Go over those details with you in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Reports of smoke and flame alerted emergency services in Asbury, Missouri yesterday. A house fire near Asbury Quick Stop produced a smoke cloud that was visible for miles. Flames had already breached the roof as firefighters arrived, meaning the fire had been burning for some time. The family was at church during the fire, so thankfully no one was injured. The home, however, was a total loss, and one cat is still missing. A GoFundMe has been created to assist the young family, which can be found on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. A motorcycle collided at highway speeds with a car near Joplin last night. The crash occurred on 7th Street and fractured the motorcycle into 2 pieces. The bike driver suffered life-threatening injuries and was rushed to a nearby hospital before being flown to Springfield for a higher level of care. Our stories are often discovered by you, our viewers. We invite you to share your news tips with us. Scan the QR code and you'll be taken to a form where you can submit a tip quickly and easily. Thank you for being part of the story. A Pittsburgh man reaches a big birthday milestone this weekend. KOAM's Mitch Adams spoke with the veteran who's lived through 18 U.S. presidencies.
The saying goes that age is but a number, and some people prove that. A Pittsburgh veteran and husband named Frank Emmel is celebrating 103 years of life.
I was born and raised in Missouri. And you might say I grew up over in Reynolds County. That's in the southern part of the state.
Born in 1923, Emmel went to school in southern Missouri in a two-room schoolhouse.
And a little old country school, just 2 rooms, and at one time they did have one room that was for high school students. Another room was for the grade 2 school period. And that was about, 2-3 miles from my house. And I walked back and forth there every day.
Emmel said that growing up in those days was much different, but it was enjoyable.
But I look back on my childhood and I really love it.
Many times with age comes wisdom, and Frank is not short of wisdom, sharing plenty about living a long and fulfilling life.
We may change the route a little bit once in a while. But do good to your neighbors, be good to all people. And I guess if we could do good for something or somebody every day of life, that would help.
In Pittsburgh, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
A case of mistaken identity is causing headaches for a Kansas City restaurant after online backlash aimed at a similarly named business hundreds of miles away led to negative reviews, harassing calls, and safety concerns for staff.
When bad news or false news circulates, us being the fake news there, it's just really damaging.
Words travel far and wide.
Last night, we received a 1-star review.
Derek and Grace Carlson, who own Boulevard Tavern in the Crossroads, have received plenty of words in 24 hours.
And then we received another and another and another and another.
Critical reviews online.
And then the comments and reviews started involving ICE.
People are confusing the Carlsons' business for one in Minnesota's Twin Cities, more than 400 miles away.
We started getting phone calls today, some, harassing ones. We're worried about the safety of our team.
I'm sorry, sir. I think you have the wrong location.
A business by the same name is gaining traction on social media for appearing to remove a conservative influencer who stands for ICE.
We're Boulevard Tavern, Kansas City.
Grace is concerned about the safety of her team.
It's just concerning, It's scary.
And the damage people's words could inflict on her family's business.
Those words, they do affect us. We want to provide a safe work environment for everyone. We want to provide a safe space for all of our guests.
She says everyone has a right to their opinion.
It's important to stand up for what you believe in. There's appropriate ways to do so.
However, she hopes her words set the record straight.
We're really just here for our guests and for the people to, maybe you had a bad day, come in and we'll make it better.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Above normal temps sticking around the 4 states. Chris has a look at your weekly forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, the top lawyer for Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Minnesota has retired. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security confirms Chief Counsel Jim Stolley stepped down after 31 years of service. His exit comes as immigration cases continue to flood Minnesota courts, following a surge in enforcement under the Trump administration. Well, U.S. skiing star Lindsey Vonn is in stable condition following surgery on a fracture in her left leg that came after she crashed nearly 13 seconds into the Olympic downhill final. Amanda Davies has the details. We apologize for that technical difficulty. Well, still to come, cowboys and cowgirls from across the country gather in Tulsa to compete and celebrate their heritage. plus above normal temps sticking around the 4 states. Chris has a look at your Monday forecast. Well, the Oklahoma Invitational Black Rodeo brings in competitors from all over the country and offers more than just competitive energy to honor the start of Black History Month. Cowboys and cowgirls from across the United States are taking center stage in Tulsa.
The dust is flying in Tulsa as black cowboys and cowgirls from across the country come to compete and to be seen.
Just keeping the culture alive, bringing some black cowboys and black cowgirls from all over the United States to compete in this rodeo.
For many competitors, the rodeo is more than a sport, it's an identity.
I'm a school teacher in my career, but right after being a school teacher and teaching emerging generations, I come right into the rodeo world and I'm right at home.
From bull riding to barrel racing, the rodeo highlights tradition while inspiring a new generation.
Being a cowboy, it's not in your color or your race. It's really in your heart and your spirit and your soul.
For some young competitors, the arena already feels like home.
I've been bear racing for about 8 years.
This year's event features classic rodeo events plus fan favorites like Pony Express racing.
It's wild and western. It's NASCAR on horses.
Organizers say Tulsa was a natural stop for the tour.
It's one of them things that, rodeo here in Oklahoma is so saturated that, everybody loves it.
And beyond the competition, organizers hope families leave with something deeper.
We want these little kids to say, hey, you know what? There's cowboys out there, black cowboys that, look just like me, that, that's what I want to be.
It's a chance to see history come alive, cheer a little louder, and maybe watch a future cowboy or cowgirl discover where they belong.
Well, the rodeo is always such a fun place to be. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Again, we are a bit chilly to start the day out there. We do have some patchy fog in some locations. We are going to take a full look at your forecast, talk about these warm temperatures, how long they're going to stick around, and some rain chances. And, of course, look at the visibility when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:18. We will be right back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to KOAM Morning News. 6:22. All right, let's not go back in time. It's 6:22. On this Monday morning, we're starting with the fog tracker. So this is, again, one of those true examples of patchy fog because, again, remember, 10 miles is good visibility. So we've got some locations here, there, in between that are fine, and others that aren't so much. Joplin right now at 5.2 miles. I think that's actually our lowest visibility out there. But remember, too, because we saw some of the cameras, this is being reported from the airport. In fact, most of these, it's typically reported from your airport location. That's where those readings are taken. So sometimes you can have the airport, which in Joplin's case, is up on the far north side of the city, show half a mile of visibility, but then we show you cameras from within the city, and it looks fine because it's only foggy up there. But either way, remember, low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Slow down. And again, do watch out for rapidly changing visibilities because earlier this morning, Independence dropped to 1.5 mile visibility. And this updates approximately every 10 minutes or so. And with the next update, went right back to about 9.5 miles of visibility. So you want to be cautious out there and just be wise and smart because you want to be able to enjoy this day because it is going to be a textbook late April day. It's not late April, but that's exactly how it's going to feel. Future track. If you watch close enough, you will see a couple of clouds in northern Bates County. There they went, and now they're gone. And that's the end of the cloud cover. Outside of that, sunny skies, a southwest breeze, and temperatures potentially at record levels today. Now, overnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy after midnight. Those south winds begin to ramp up a bit, get a little gusty, and then by about mid-morning tomorrow, here comes a boundary through. Not much associated with it. Some clouds, so then we'll have this mix of partly to, in some cases, maybe mostly cloudy skies. And we're going to have gusty north winds on the backside of this boundary, and that will make us a little cooler than today, but it will still be well above average for this time of year. So even this little boundary is not enough to reset temperatures around the area. We'll hold on to partly cloudy skies through the evening hours on our Tuesday. We'll start to clear out a bit initially for our Wednesday, but as we start going later into the day in the afternoon Wednesday, we have some gusty east winds maybe, and we also have that mix again of partly cloudy skies, but we do remain dry. We do remain above normal. Temperatures, a nice 20-degree jump through the morning hours. Low 40s to start, low 60s by 11 o'clock in the morning. Again, great example, just right here at 7th Range Line. There's no visible fog here, even though the airport's reporting reduced visibility. So that becomes the only problem with the airports being reporting stations. But we don't make those choices. It's a long history of however they decided that would be the case. All right, temperatures today, though. This is what I was talking about, with the potential for some record highs out there, low mid 70s, maybe even some upper 70s down south. Just clear skies. It's an absolutely beautiful day if this was a different time of year. Southwest winds 5 to 15. So enjoy it. Maybe if you didn't have the weekend off where it was pretty nice, but you have today off. Like if you work the weekend, sometimes you get like a Monday, Tuesday off. Oh, this is a great day to get out there. Clear skies continue through the evening. Still near 60 by 10 o'clock tonight. South winds gusting upwards of 25 though. And then again, partly cloudy after midnight. Upper 40s, low 50s. And again, remember our highs. The average high this time of year is the upper 40s. So most of us above the average high for this time of year for lows. So we could, in some cases, set record warm lows, meaning it's the warmest overnight temperature for this time of year that's been recorded. And that's another interesting thing. It'd be very interesting to hit some record highs and have record warm lows to follow. Again, tomorrow, breezy. Like I said, we're a little cooler than today, but still well above average in the low to mid 60s. Rain chances late Thursday into Friday. Saturday is the closest we get to normal. So, of course, up north, you may be average into the upper 40s. Most of us, though, the low 50s. That's as close as we get. And we hang on to 50s and 60s through next week with some additional rain chances possible late Tuesday into next Wednesday. So if you got things to do, or maybe you just want to get out and air the house up, or air the house out, open some windows, great day to do that. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. A new study in the Lancet Psychiatry finds people with depression may have a higher risk of dementia later in life. Researchers tracked more than 5,800 adults for 25 years, and about 10% developed dementia. The strongest links were tied to symptoms like anxiety, trouble concentrating, and emotional withdrawal. Experts say depression does not cause dementia, but the findings highlight midlife as an important time to focus on mental health, sleep, and social connection. A new study published in Nature Medicine finds how well a cancer treatment works may depend on the time of day it's given. Researchers studied more than 200 people with the same type of lung cancer and gave them identical immune therapies, but at different times. Patients treated before 3 p.m. lived nearly a year longer on average and had about 5 more months before their cancer spread. Scientists say they don't yet know why timing makes a difference and more research is needed. Well, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt gave his final State of the State this week. The governor spoke out against medical marijuana and asking lawmakers to send it back to a vote of the people to shut it down. But the owner of Okie Wonderland says taking it away would cause more crime and hurt the economy.
Alan Solomon opened Okie Wonderland on East Admiral in Catoosa 6 years ago. It became his first of his 18 dispensaries.
We try to just make sure we understand everyone's needs first, and then we try to show them the right product and the right path.
Solomon says he was surprised when he heard Governor Kevin Stitt talk about medical marijuana during his speech.
One of the greatest threats to public safety is the out-of-control marijuana industry.
A lot of people are doing stuff the right way, following every rule that OMA and OBN has, making sure that all of our employees are credentialed, running background checks, paying our Secretary of State payments, paying our Oklahoma tax payments.
Stitt asked lawmakers to let people re-vote on the legalization of medical marijuana in hopes of getting rid of it after it was legalized in 2018.
These storefronts hide an industry that enables cartel activity, human trafficking, and foreign influence in our state.
Solomon says illegal grows don't affect dispensaries, and taking medical marijuana away would create more illegal activity.
They're not just gonna stop smoking all of a sudden, you know? They're gonna start buying it from their neighborhood dealer or whoever it may be, and then they're really not going to get any tax money.
OBN has shut down more than 7,000 illegal farms and seized more than 2 million illegal marijuana plants in the last 4 years.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, law enforcement officers and community members take a chilly plunge for a good cause.
And we've got some patchy fog out there this morning. Otherwise, clear skies, very warm today, maybe even record-breaking warmth. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, FBI agents return to the home of a missing 84-year-old woman as new information emerges.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:32. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Monday, February the 9th. Happy Monday to everybody. Hopefully you had a good weekend. I know the Chiefs weren't in the Super Bowl this year, but still one to watch. Our middle child, he likes sports regardless, so he's like, I don't care. I want to watch the Super Bowl because he finds it interesting. And in the beginning, you said you didn't see it, but the beginning of the game, though, really good defense. I could only stay up long enough to watch the first quarter, and then that's it. But still looked like it was a pretty good game. But hopefully everybody had a good weekend.
Yeah, all in all, it's Monday now. I know, our station has been having a little bit of a Monday with some technical stuff, but we're making it through, and we're gonna have lovely weather. At least it's a treat.
We never have technical stuff.
What? Not us.
No, absolutely not. It's all planned that way. No, but it is Monday. Happy Monday. I don't know where we are sometimes, but it's going to be an absolutely great, fantastic, potentially record-breaking Monday when it comes to our temperatures. How warm will it be? Let's find out together. Starting, though, with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh, where the skies, again, are clear. I'm not really seeing any fog from the Pittsburgh camera. They say POG is a combination of fog on the Pittsburgh camera. So if we ever see fog, we can just say we see POG. All right, clear skies, though. Looks good. West Coast camera, 7th and range line in Joplin. Again, no fog visible here, but the airport, at least, is reporting some reduced visibilities. KDOT camera, 69, and Baxter Springs. In fact, I believe you can actually see just some light fog out there. Nothing significant as we get the day started. Our final stop, the MoDOT camera, 20th and range line in Joplin. Looking good so far as well. So here's the fog tracker. That's what I was saying. Joplin, the airport's reporting about 5 miles of visibility. So not significantly reduced, but reduced. Pittsburgh, now just under 7. We've got some patchy fog here and there, and those visibilities can change from place to place to place. place. So just be careful. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. And always be aware of the potential for rapidly changing visibilities as well. Temperatures this morning, the closest to normal we have is Stockton at 29, as our lows should be into the upper 20s this time of year. Most of us low, mid, and upper 30s. The warm spot still Monette, sitting at 41 degrees on what is again going to be a very warm day. Clear skies out there, maybe a cloud or two in Bates County. That's about it. We'll have some southwest winds. We're going to have very warm temperatures. The bus stop forecast is our first sign that we get to see of these temperatures. So out the door, about 40. Near 70 by lunch and recess, mid 70s as they head home. That's again where our highs are going to head for most of us. We'll be near 50 by 9, so that's where our average high should be this time of year. We'll go near 70 by noon, mid 70s for the high, still near 70 by 6 o'clock this evening. Southwest winds 5 to 10. And of course, we could see some record highs down south, especially if you get into the upper 70s, which isn't out of the question. Could be a very warm day. We'll be a little cooler tomorrow, but staying above average. Talk about how long the above normal temperatures last and our rain chances later this week here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. This year's Polar Plunge raised over $11,000 for Special Olympic athletes in the state of Missouri. This was Joplin's third annual law enforcement torch run, Polar Plunge, and was held by sponsor River Bend's Family Resort over the weekend. Other sponsors included the Joplin and Carthage Police, General Mills, and Planet Fitness. You can still make a donation on their website at plungemo.org. The Joplin Public Library hosted its annual Black History Fair, bringing the community together to honor Black history in Joplin. The event featured local organizations, interactive displays, and short presentations highlighting past, present, and future contributions of the African American community. Library leaders say the goal is to educate, celebrate, and inspire across generations. Well, taken too soon, but never forgotten. Those are the words engraved onto the dog tags John Martin is hanging along highways across the United States. His goal is to ensure those who lost their lives on 9/11 are never forgotten. Each tag he hangs has the name of a victim. Friday, he traveled to Cherokee and Crawford counties in southeast Kansas. Martin's route started in Colorado and will end in New York. Well, the search for Nancy Guthrie continues after a new note was sent to the Guthrie.
Late Friday, FBI agents were back at the home of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, who was last seen a week ago. Investigators closed down the road and towed this vehicle from the home. It's unclear what caused investigators to return to the scene, but it happened just after the FBI and Pima County Sheriff announced they're reviewing what's being characterized as a new message in Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. In a joint statement, they say investigators are actively inspecting the information provided in the message for its authenticity.
We need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
The Guthrie family has been pleading for communication with the potential captors. A first unverified ransom note demanded payment in Bitcoin and set 2 deadlines, but left no way of reaching out. It is unclear whether the 2 forms of communication are connected. Democratic Arizona Senator Mark Kelly spoke with Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos and sent a message to Guthrie's potential captors.
She's in her 80s. She's got, health conditions that there is no reason why they should not release her. They should release her.
President Trump, who spoke with Savannah earlier this week, had this to say about the investigation.
We have some clues, I think, that are very strong, and I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
The FBI has offered a $50,000 reward for anyone with information about Guthrie's disappearance. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
The Pima County Sheriff told CBS News no one has been ruled out as a suspect. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A special Valentine's market brings together local vendors for last-minute gift shopping. In Consumer Watch, President Trump moves to quadruple the amount of beef imported from a South American country under a trade agreement reached last year. The president signed an executive order Friday to temporarily expand beef imports from Argentina. The White House says the move intends to improve the costs of ground beef to consumers despite record high prices and short supplies of U.S. cattle. However, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the largest cattle industry in the U.S., doesn't agree more imports will lower beef prices. The association also raised concerns that increased imports without more inspection protocols could potentially put American consumers and cattle herds at risk for foreign animal diseases. 20,000 metric tons of beef will be administered each quarter this year, with the first batch starting this Friday. The Trump administration says the decision to increase imports aligns with an existing trade deal with the U.S. and Argentina agreed on in November 2025. The second annual Valentine's pop-up market wrapped up this weekend. Shoppers browsed 13 local vendors and grabbed treats from a food truck at the Abernathy Room. It was a chance to shop local and find the perfect Valentine's gift all in one place. Well, an investigation begins as a major streaming service attempts to purchase a global media and entertainment company. A Wall Street Journal report says the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating if Netflix has been involved in any anti-competitive practices. The report says the DOJ is looking at Netflix potentially becoming a monopoly if it acquires Warner Brothers. Netflix made a bid in December 2025 of $82.7 billion to purchase Warner Brothers, but shortly after, Paramount made an offer of its own, starting a bidding war and preventing Netflix from closing the deal. According to the report, the DOJ is also reviewing Paramount's offer for potential anti-competitive tactics. The report says the DOJ has the power to block the sale if they believe Netflix put its competition at an unfair disadvantage. The Wall Street Journal says Stephen Sunshine, an attorney for Netflix, believes the investigation is standard practice and the streaming service is cooperating with the department. Well, BMW is recalling nearly 90,000 vehicles because the engine starter may pose a fire risk. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the starters may overheat and catch fire. The agency says BMW dealers will replace the engine starter at no cost to the owners. The announcement comes after the automaker recalled more than 145,000 vehicles in October, also over a starter defect that could make it overheat and spark a fire. That's it for Consumer Watch, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Again, we do have some patchy fog out there. We otherwise have clear skies. Temperatures are chilly, but for the most part above normal, and we are soaring to potential record highs as we head into the afternoon today, maybe even record warm lows overnight tonight. We're going to talk about all of that and some rain chances later this week when the KOAM Morning News returns. Also got birthdays and anniversaries right after this. Time now, 6:44. All right, time now for some Monday birthdays and anniversaries. We're going to start in Miami with Callan Harp celebrating birthday number 10. Says, happy birthday, we love you from Papa and Yaya.
And then Gerard Oakley Johnson is celebrating birthday number 10. It says, happy birthday, love Papa and Gigi. Happy birthday, Oakley.
And in Pittsburgh, Georgia O'Banion celebrating birthday number 13 today. Says, happy birthday, Bunky. Mama loves you to the moon and back.
And in Joplin, Christian Hansen is celebrating birthday number 23. Happy birthday, Christian.
And we've got Paige Driver celebrating birthday number 31 today. Happy birthday, Paige.
And from our friends here in Crestline, Misty Moore is celebrating birthday number 49. It says happy birthday from your family.
And we've got Rhonda Overstreet celebrating birthday number 64 in Lamar. Says, nicest person I know, with love from your loving husband, Brad.
And in Pittsburgh, Tim Anderson is celebrating birthday number 65. Happy birthday, Tim.
And in West Mineral, Walter and Kim Likert celebrating their 46th year of wedded bliss. A very happy anniversary to the Likerts.
And in Columbus, Gene Nelson is celebrating another year older and wiser. Happy birthday, Gene.
And Melanie Kent Culp celebrating another year wiser with happy birthday wishes coming from Mom, Steve, Oscar, Max, Peter, and Ruby.
And in Chanute, Ray Love is celebrating a happy birthday today. It says, we love you from your family and friends. Happy birthday, Ray.
And in Joplin, Michael Jarman celebrating another year wiser. Says, happy birthday from the G9.
And a face and name you may recognize, KOAM's very own Tanya Bach is celebrating a birthday this year. You may recognize Tanya because she is our anchor here for our 9 p.m. Bach show, and she also did many, many, many years here on the KOAM morning show as well. So very happy birthday to you, Tanya.
See, I came on to the morning show and scared her away. You're the 4th person, by the way, I've done this show with in just 3 years.
When are they going to notice the pattern?
I am apparently chasing everyone away. No, Tanya, it was a great opportunity for her. I certainly miss her here on the mornings, but a very happy birthday. You know, Tanya and I started in the news business, here, roughly the same time. So we've been doing it. I haven't been at this station that long, but I've been in the business a while, so it's kind of fun celebrating her birthday and celebrating all these years of stories and everything together. Well, another great list of birthdays and anniversaries, and of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, it's super easy to do.
Yes, you should just pay attention to this email that you can see on your screen. It's birthdays@komnewsnow.com. That's where you can send those photos, those birthdays, those anniversaries for you or your special person. But do make sure you pay plenty of attention to that deadline that you can see on your screen, so that way we can make sure to get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate with you on your special day.
Very important information there, and some important weather information. You want to talk about rapidly changing visibilities. Montgomery County, Independence specifically, dropped to 1.5 mile visibility, and then the last few updates jumped up to about 9.5 miles of visibility. The latest updates dropped it back down to 2.5 miles of visibility into western Montgomery County. So again, just keep that in mind. Rapidly changing visibilities are possible. Just a reminder, the fog tracker, the visibility tracker here, it updates approximately every 10 minutes as data is in. So that means there's a 10-minute gap in data and things can change. So take what you see here and just bear in mind it could have improved, it could have gotten worse. So you need to be cautious this morning because it's patchy fog. It's not everywhere, but where we've got it, we are seeing those reduced visibilities. So slow down, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, and of course, give yourself time to get wherever you're going. We want to make sure you get out there safely because today is going to be a fantastic day. We've got, if you watch closely enough, we can all watch together. There's a couple of clouds that pass through northern Bates County. That's it. We got sunny skies, southwest winds, 5 to 15. An absolutely beautiful day if it were late April, but it's early February. We're getting into, I guess, mid-February because February is shorter than all the other months, but still, not a bad day out there. Now, overnight tonight, we go from mostly clear, and after midnight, we should start going partly cloudy out there, and we'll have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies Tuesday, but early Tuesday, not early, let's say about 10, 11 o'clock, cold front starts to pass through. That brings in maybe a few more clouds here and there, but it'll also take gusty south winds from tonight and switch them out of the north tomorrow, and that will allow us to be a little cooler, but we will still be well above average by about almost 15 to 20 degrees, still above average as we head into our Tuesday. We go Tuesday night into Wednesday, skies should begin to clear a bit, and as we head through the day on Wednesday, we'll get some easterly winds out there, could be a bit gusty at times. We'll have clear skies initially, and then we'll start to go kind of partly cloudy a little later in the day, ahead of some rain chances building in late Thursday into our Friday. As for this morning, though, that's a great view of that sunrise this morning from Westco Camera 7th and Range Line. Clear skies and a nice 20-degree jump in temperatures, low 40s to start, low 60s by 11 a.m. Got another look at your forecast and your wake-up recap here momentarily. When we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., it may not be the year of the snake, but this iconic Harry Potter character has become the unofficial mascot of the Chinese New Year. Details on that and a lot more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up Recap for February 9th, your top stories to start your day. Reports of smoke and flame alerted emergency services in Asbury, Missouri yesterday. A house fire near Asbury Quick Stop produced a smoke cloud that was visible for miles. Flames had already reached the roof as firefighters arrived, meaning the fire had been burning for some time. The family was at church during the fire, so thankfully no one was injured. The home, however, was a total loss, and one cat is still missing. A GoFundMe has been created to assist the young family, which can be found on our website, komnewsnow.com. A motorcycle collides at highway speed with a car near Joplin last night. The crash occurred on 7th Street and fractured the motorcycle into two pieces. The bike driver suffered life-threatening injuries and was rushed to a nearby hospital before being flown to Springfield, Missouri for a higher level of care. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And again, the potential for some record-breaking highs today as we go into the low to mid 70s, down south, maybe even upper 70s. Southwest winds 5 to 15 and plentiful sunshine. Through the evening, clear skies continue. We're back down to the upper 50s, near 60 by 10, low 50s for most of us tonight. So we could, in some cases, even have record warm lows, meaning it'd be the warmest low recorded for this time of year, which would not be out of the question because that's warmer than what our average high should be. And we'll have those south winds ramping up, gusting to 25. Starting to go partly cloudy overnight. A mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. Cold front in the morning switches the winds out of the north, gusting to 20, brings our temperatures down a wee bit, but we are pretty much above normal for the next several days out there. Some rain chances late Thursday into Friday, but a very nice day today. And really, even with the up and down temperatures each time, for the most part, they're staying above average out there. So very warm weather. Makes me just wonder what's coming up after all that warm weather.
So I'm going to enjoy this warm weather while we have it.
Right. I would, just to be on the safe side.
Well, thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making Tempt Me truffles in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, we're going to have the latest from Milan and the Winter Olympics, including the devastating injury to Lindsey Vonn. Plus, see what makes the American figure skater known as the Quad God so impressive.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, a Pittsburgh man reaches a big birthday milestone. We sit down with the veteran who's lived through 18 U.S. presidencies.
Incredible milestone. Plus, LaStacia Ross showing us some healing therapy, sound healing therapy, ahead of World Sound Healing Day, which is coming up later this week. That and a lot more at 7 a.m. It's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll be back here tomorrow at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.